Welcome to the Situationship Expert YouTube channel. I am your host, India Lynn, also known as the Situationship Expert on TikTok first, now on YouTube. If it is your first time here, welcome to the channel. If it is not your first time here, welcome back. We are talking about insecurity today, being insecure. It's not a fun topic. It's not a topic that I enjoy discussing, but we got to talk about it. If we're going to talk about relationships, we got to talk about the things that are not so great in order for us to obtain a healthy, happy relationship. All right. Now, I can resonate with this because I used to be very insecure. Again, this is expired information, but I can empathize. So I don't want you to take anything personal and feel like I'm attacking you. I'm telling you this because I've been where you are. And if any signs stand out to you, hopefully what I say tonight helps you to not only understand why you're acting the way you are, but it can give you the confidence to actually take action to not be in that position anymore, all right? And that being said, let's just talk about the definition, okay? The definition of someone who is insecure, a person, they are not confident or assured, uncertain, and anxious. Again, not confident, assured, uncertain, and anxious. Okay, so you can think that a lack of confidence or assurance doesn't affect anyone but you. And the truth is, it actually affects a lot more people than you think. It can hurt you if you are single, if you're dating, if you're in a long-term relationship, if you're married, if you're on the brink of divorce. It affects you. It can affect your friendships. It can affect your work relationships. It can affect your acquaintanceships, if that's a thing. Well, usually if you're in networking or something like that, or, barely know someone. But it affects everything around you. All right? And so my point is, I don't want you to stay in the trap of being insecure, because what usually happens is you get in your own head. These uncertainties usually stem from your thoughts that are negative about yourself over the thoughts that are positive. And that really is the root to a lot of the anxieties that people face, because yes, anxiety can be very loud and very obvious, and it can also be very subtle, and you can just keep these silent negative thoughts to yourself, but they eventually spill out in some way, shape, or form. And so it's better to address them than to just act like it's not a big deal. Oh, everybody has insecurities. No, everybody has moments where you might feel uncertain. You might not feel 100% confident for whatever reason, right? But insecurities are usually long-term negative thoughts that you have about yourself that just aren't true, right? That being said, let's get into some of the impacts of insecurities and really where they stem from. So I do have an answer to all of these insecurities at the end. So if you'll be patient with me, I will definitely get there. But number one, a sign that you are insecure: you lack attention and you suffer from rejection. Could be an and or you suffer from rejection, because these are very, very similar. Whether you have heard someone compliment you or tell you that you're great or not, you can feel like you just haven't had enough assurance. No one's told you you're doing well. No one said you look beautiful today. No one has reassured you that everything's going to be okay. If you're constantly relying on outsiders to tell you that you're doing a good job, or that you're a great person, and that you're doing good, that's not good. And it does affect the people around you, because the people around you who may very well love you, including a person that you are in a romantic relationship with, they can become emotionally exhausted from trying to encourage you every other minute to be your best. And it's not to say that you're not allowed to have an off day or even have a rough season of your life. But ultimately, it's not attractive to find someone who's constantly upset with themselves or not believing that their partner truly is being honest when they say they look beautiful, or that they're doing a good job, right? So yes, it can negatively impact your existing relationships and future relationships. Okay. And it's the same with rejection. A lot of times people think that rejection only, affects them, but no. If you are in a relationship specifically, let's say you want to initiate intimacy with your partner and they say no, and they have different reasons. Maybe they're tired, maybe they've had a long week, maybe now is just not a good time, right? You might think in your head, am I attractive to them? Do they just not want to be with me? Do they not um, have that same spark anymore? And maybe it's just all in your head. They really are just not understanding that the amount of times they said no to you is adding up and now you're not happy, right? But they don't know that. They wouldn't know that unless you discuss that with them. And so a solution is definitely to speak about things, ask more questions, don't assume the worst, because that's what insecurities do. It's a lot of negative thoughts. So my solution to that is definitely ask more questions rather than assume the worst. And if somebody tells you something, believe them. It doesn't mean that everyone's going to be upfront and honest with you, but believe the people, especially the ones that you're closest to when they tell you something, right? Another sign that you might struggle with insecurities is if you struggle in the area of being someone who was bullied or you experienced something very, very traumatic in your life. Okay, and in this solution, you very well may need counseling or therapy. I know that a lot of people don't want a professional to get involved. Sometimes you feel like, no, this is my battle to fight. I can get through it. But sometimes you need a little help, and don't be afraid to go and ask someone for help and say, you know what, I really am struggling to understand why I can't get out of the mindset that I have regarding people around me, and I just want to be happy. I just want to be content. A therapist can definitely help you get there. A counselor can help you. I know that some of us feel like, you know what, I'll just write in my little journal, but sometimes even journaling, the struggle can be real, right? But nonetheless, don't be afraid to seek professional help. And lastly, a sign that you might struggle with being insecure is comparison. Do you constantly compare yourself to the people around you? That definitely is going to hurt the relationships that you have if you are always looking at what is going on with this one, what's going on with that one. If your partner says that they love you, believe that they love you. Okay, now I'm not saying that if there are other red flags that you shouldn't, speak up or consider if this is even the right relationship for you. But if your partner is nothing but a sweetheart to you and you go out to dinner and you see someone that looks pretty in the restaurant, you feel intimidated or threatened, then you probably are struggling with insecurities, right? I see it with people who say, well, yeah, my partner gets upset with me being around people that are attractive, or they don't like the idea of me talking to somebody, even if I give them a compliment, because they see that as a form of me cheating, right? Now, I'm not saying, again, that there aren't some lines that could be crossed in terms of interactions, but ultimately, if you have confidence in your partner and in the love that you've created, you shouldn't worry about a compliment to someone else or the fact that they're even in the same room with you, okay? So how did I get out of this downward spiral of being negative? Well, one way that I got out of it, well, number one way was God. I've made it clear I believe in God, right? But I turned to God. I prayed to God for help because I didn't like feeling insecure. I didn't like feeling like I might not find love. I didn't enjoy feeling down all the time. But number two, I chose to love myself. It was a decision. It wasn't one of those things where I said, you know what? I'm just going to love me. It took time to get to that place, but I was intentional. I started saying good things about myself. I started rejecting the negative thoughts that came to my head. I started being more intentional with how much time I invested in myself. That was part of the reason why I struggled with insecurities, is because I did look around. I did compare my life to other people. I did have times where I had been bullied in the past, and I did also have times where I felt like I wanted attention or I felt rejected, right? So I needed to get out of the trap of believing that no one liked me or people had no interest in getting to know me. And the reason why someone's not approaching me is because I don't look like her, or I don't look like that one, or I don't talk like this person, or I don't walk like that person, and I don't wear my hair the way this one does, or I don't, do the things that that person does. I stopped comparing myself. I said, I love me. I love India. I'm choosing to love her. Even if nobody else loves her, I love her. For her quirkiness, for her randomness, for her seriousness, for her happy and silly moments. I love all of who she is. And if someone else doesn't appreciate it, that's fine, because I love her. And that's all that matters, right? But it took time to get to that place. And I also had to start investing a lot more time and energy and effort into just taking care of myself and being more intentional. And that genuinely did help me. Another area that helped me was planning. Planning helped me so much. It's like Miley Cyrus's song. It's not about the top of the mountain. It's about the climb. It's about the journey. And sometimes when you journal or you have a plan on where you want to go, it encourages you to keep going, even though you haven't reached that milestone yet. Keep going, keep pushing. And honestly, it's one of the most beautiful things on the planet when you do achieve the goals that you set for yourself and you see it coming into fruition. But there is something beautiful and motivating about the climb itself, right? So I encourage you to definitely journal, definitely write down the things that are important to you about your journey. And it will definitely motivate you to say, hey, I remember day 1, I remember day 10, I remember day 30. I remember all these days, and now look where I am, look at how far I've come, right? So plan things out. So even if you're someone who might be trying to lose weight, or you're someone who's trying to obtain certain goals, and maybe it's to save more money, maybe it's to switch up your wardrobe, or whatever your goal is, just start making little short strides to it, doing what you can with what you've got, the best you know how to do. But planning definitely helps you, right? And last but not least, as I mentioned before, professional help is one of the best things you can do. Listening and meditating on healthy relationship advice helped me a lot. Listening to motivational speakers that really poured into me to open my eyes to the areas I was falling short, right? That helped me a lot. So watching what I meditated on, but also if listening to people is helping, but it's not helping you get to where you need to go, consider, like I mentioned earlier, investing in therapy and counseling options, all right? But the reason why I say this is because, again, if you're in a relationship, if you are not in a relationship, insecurities don't just affect you, it affects everyone around you. And the most attractive thing I believe anyone can bring to the table is confidence. Being assured of yourself. Not being anxious every other second or feeling uncertain every other minute, but truly loving you. Being confident in who God made you to be. It's one of the most attractive things on the planet. I'm telling you, I have been attracted to a series of people in my life, and a lot of them had confidence in common. They were confident, and even if they weren't the most quote unquote popular person in the room, just something about that confidence is, man, it does something to you, right? And it did something to me. I noticed when I made certain changes that I did draw more options because of my confidence. And it wasn't just in terms of a romantic relationship or romantic opportunities, right? It was also in the area of work, in the area of friendships, in the area of just meeting acquaintances. People saying, I like you, I really like you. I'm thinking, why do they really like me? And the reason why I now understand why they were interested is because confidence, again, is attractive. You don't have to be the most attractive person in the room. You just have to wear confidence confidently, right? And don't fake it till you make it. Just learn to love yourself and be proud of who God made you to be. All right. If you enjoyed this video, or if there's anything that you would like to mention in the comment section, maybe you disagree with me, maybe you feel like, well, I actually think that you could have touched on this too, leave all of your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know. And if there's anything that you'd like me to discuss in the future, definitely leave that in the comment section as well. If you're not already following me on TikTok, I go live on TikTok, at least during the recording of this video. I go live each week on TikTok, and check my story because that's where I leave information about my schedule, if there are any shifts in the schedule, or if my schedule is right on time. All right. That being said, definitely check me out during the week. That is the Situationship Expert on TikTok. All right. That's all I have for you for now. I do hope that you guys continue to grow and love yourself, because that's the most beautiful thing you can do. If you haven't checked out my content in terms of contentment and knowing yourself, definitely check that out. But again, thank you for joining me on the Situationship Expert YouTube channel. I am your host, India Lynn, and until the next video, take care.